I'm assuming everyone in here has seen at least one Marvel movie.
Yes.
Fantastic. How many of you would say you've watched every Marvel project?
Nope.
Wow.
Okay.
Every movie. Actually, I'm a liar.
Wait,
There's
you should
two
ask that.
things.
Ask that.
Huh?
Okay, who's watched every Marvel movie?
Every Marvel movie.
I haven't watched the original whole.
Well, like,
Yeah, we don't care about that.
well, we do.
Sorry.
We care about it.
It'll be there, but I don't.
I will say, we're gonna try to get through all these slides as quickly as possible. So we'll talk about like hot takes and thoughts at the very end when it's officially over.
I'm gonna try so hard to not share my opinions.
If I have to be biased making the Civil War slide, you have to stay biased while presenting.
I was gonna say, I hope we're biased making that slide.
Well, I was biased towards liking Marvel films, but that's it.
Yeah, but
It's just a
it's
slide about me.
Well, then I guess we can go ahead and get started.
Rights of Freedom is hot.
I enjoyed that switch. Okay, phenomenal. So welcome to the Marvel meeting. Yay!
Yay!
Okay. First slide. Attendance. Please scan the QR code
Oh.
with your regular camera, not suitable. It's so that way the Office of the People know that we have people that show up to our meetings.
And also, if you didn't know, this is Wellcore, so you're gonna get Wellcore after
We
we
will
get
get
Wellcore.
Wellcore. Even if we don't finish the presentation,
Still
you will get Wellcore. Okay, slide.
I'm still mad about it. I walked.
Okay, now I'm gonna calm down because there is a recording going on.
There is.
Yeah, that was what was on my mind.
It's that time to shine. Okay.
You got this.
Okay, so first
You know,
we're
come
going
on,
to briefly
yeah.
cover the
That was
what we're going to call
my
source
way.
material. I do have a disclaimer slide in here. But so these are the big names to know with the creation of the Marvel Comics. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and Steve Ditko.
No, do you feel okay or do you want me to back it up?
Yeah, because I don't feel good. You just stand it, Terry.
I've made it myself.
It's okay.
Okay, no, the only way is just to sit on my desk. See, problem solved. Okay. So, hey, if you didn't know, Marvel Comics did not start as Marvel Comics. Whoa, that's crazy.
Whoa.
It actually started out as this OG comic place called Timely Comics. Stan Lee, yes, the Marvel guy, originally started as a sweeper for Timely Comics, not even an artist, which is crazy. He became really close friends with the head artist there, and also with the owner. And the only like Marvel characters that were under Timely Comics, or like the big ones I should say, was Cap, the Human Torch, but not Fantastic Four Human Torch. This one was an android, and then Namor, who came before Aquaman. DC and Marvel like to copy a lot of characters. Namor was first, and he was more of a hero first, and not the guy that you see in Wakanda Forever. Would you mind moving on, please? And then we moved to the lovely Atlas Comics. Now this was after Timely Comics logo, which kind of looked like the outline of the world. This was specifically following a shift after World War II in comics, in which people were like, hey, the world's kind of crazy. We want to kind of like feel human emotions and have like human stories that feel more believable. So we shifted more out of superheroes to like westerns, romance, horror, war, and girl humor, as they like to call it. However, this was not very popular, it did not last very long, and after this we get the subtle shift, specifically as DC starts to arrive into our lovely Marvel Comics, which is what it still is to this date. With Marvel, they reintroduced all of their main characters from Timely Comics, and yes, the Human Torch became a Human Torch. And it also birthed the rest of his family, the Fantastic Four. This is also in that era of 1996. Marvel unfortunately goes bankrupt. They have to sell a bunch of their character rights, which we'll get into in a second. Disney purchases Marvel Entertainment in 2009 for $4 billion. Now, they purchased Marvel, but Marvel is still like its own entity. Like, the Marvel comics are still Marvel comics without Disney input. And then but they did shift their distributor to Penguin Random House, which does work with Disney projects. Now, remember what I said about those rights things? So,
Whoa.
unfortunately, when comic characters get sold, they're not just sold to one person. When Marvel went bankrupt, they said, we're going to reach out to all these different people and get money from everywhere. So instead of all of their characters going to one specific place, they spread around the globe. We had Sony Pictures picking up a lot of things, specifically Spider-Man, which they still have to this date. That's why you see more Spider-Man projects made by Sony, and it's also why Marvel had to get specific permission from Sony to make Spider-Man films. They also have to make a new film at least once every 5 years and 9 months, or their rights over Spider-Man disappears. So, something to keep in mind if you wonder why Spider-Man films have to come out in a certain era. And yes, that does mean that Beyond the Spider-Verse will have to come out at a certain point, or they literally do not have the rights to it. Yes. Universal Pictures specifically picks up the Hulk, which is why we have the solo Hulk film that isn't technically a part of the MCU. And that's also why Disney hasn't made their own Hulk film yet. She-Hulk is an entirely different character, does not count, but that's why Hulk can only be a supporting character in the Avengers. We also had Fox, which, as you now know, is now owned by Disney, so we don't really... Monopoly! But they did start out with the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and a few other things. That's why in early MCU, we couldn't call mutants mutants, because it was literally copyrighted. And then finally, we have some other solo people that picked up things. Specifically, this kind of goes into the era where some of the kids and grandkids of the original Marvel creators now want some of their character rights back. Of course, if you've taken copyright law, that's not how this works, because most of the characters were made under Marvel Comics, and it would also mess up their characters being made in comics, but it is something that occurs every once in a while. So there you go, there's your basic Marvel comic knowledge.
Woo. Thank you, Elizabeth.
You're welcome.
We'll see you again later. Alright, so we're going to start with Marvel movies before the MCU, because now that Disney owns those Fox movies, things can get a little wonky, as we'll soon find out. But quick disclaimer, for the purposes of this presentation, I'm only going to start in 1998. There were a lot of Marvel movies before then. I'm not going to talk about them. Fantastic, okay. So first we have the original Blade with Wesley Snipes from 1998, rated R. Fantastic, woohoo. I'm breezing through a lot of these. Then we have X-Men from 2000. Crazy. Cool. Then we have Blade 2 from 2002. I really don't like that there are transitions, I'm sorry. Then we have the first Spider-Man from 2002 as well. I believe they had to remove some imagery that they used with the Twin Towers because of obvious reasons. Alright, next we have the first Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. Crazy. And then we have X2, X-Men United. Woohoo, another X-Men movie in 2003. Then we have The Punisher from 2004.
What the heck is that?
I don't know, I've never seen it. Then we have Spider-Man 2 in 2004. Woohoo! I was trying to find the movie poster with Kirsten Dunst's really awkwardly anatomically incorrect arm, and I couldn't find a good picture of it, so you get this one instead. Ooh, I'm even getting a call. No, I'm not. Then we have Blade Trinity from 2004, which has Ryan Reynolds in it. You'll see him again. All right. Then we have Elektra from 2005. I personally enjoyed watching this movie as a child. This is the first Marvel movie with a female lead. Yay! Alright, it didn't do that great, but it was good. Anyway, then we have the first Fantastic Four movie.
Oh,
wow, look at all of them. You'll see Chris Evans many times again. Then we have X-Men: The Last Stand from 2006. Woohoo! I really hate that there are transitions. This is killing me. Then we have Ghost Rider from 2007 with Nicolas Cage. Woohoo! Who would have thought he was a superhero? Then we have Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
I didn't put the release date or the budget. That's so silly.
Whoa.
I'm guessing 2007.
Thank you.
What happens in show me the money?
And that's the last of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. But then we come to Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yay!
Crazy. And then we get into the MCU.
Yay.
From here on out, everything is very specifically color-coded for your understanding. So all of these, all these white slides are Marvel movies that are not MCU/Disney owned. And then there are other colors to signify the different phases within the MCU, which I'll talk about, I think, in like 2 seconds. But crazy. Okay, so names you need to know for the MCU, which stands for Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yay!
All right, so we have Kevin Feige, Jon Favreau, and Robert Downey Jr. Kevin Feige is kind of just like the main man in charge of the MCU at this point in time. Jon Favreau was the one to direct the first Iron Man movie, and he also really helped push for Robert Downey Jr.'s involvement. RDJ was coming off of a pretty rough time in life, and Iron Man was his second chance, and I think it worked pretty well for him. You're gonna see that picture of Robert Downey Jr. again. That's really good. Anywho, so we get into the phases. Now the MCU is organized into phases. They start off making sense. They don't later make sense. But anyway, so there's one large overarching story for like most of the MCU. But then there's also overarching like stories and themes within each of these phases. They usually have like one main goal that they're kind of going for throughout the phase. They have a big main villain that's kind of important. So it's all kind of like a movie series or like a TV show almost, where you have the overarching plot over each plot within the movie. Yeah, that makes sense. So we start off with what we call the Infinity Saga.
Yay!
Are you gonna die over there?
I don't ever know.
Anyway, we have the Infinity Saga. During this saga, it's really weird to explain, but it's based on the first half of the MCU, and this is all about the Infinity Stones, and that is like the big main important thing. Woo!
Woo!
Oh, I did have a slide. Crazy. Anyway, yeah, so it spans from the first Iron Man movie to just after Avengers Endgame, and is tied together with the search for the Infinity Stones. We'll learn more about these. Alright, so Phase 1. Phase 1 movies are on a dark red background.
Yay!
Woo! So we start off with Iron Man.
Yeah!
It is released on May 2nd, 2008. They really love their May releases because that is big for movies, for the summer blockbuster. Really great time for them to release it. We have a lot of names over here, but I am going to point out, you're probably going to see all of them again, except for Obadiah Stane, because Jeff Bridges, he dies. Not the actor, the character. And then you won't see Terrence Howard again, because he wanted more money. And Marvel was like, no.
He's supposed
Oh yeah, he was War Machine.
more than Robert Downey Jr.
Ooh, paid more than RDJ?
Terrence Howard?
I'm sorry?
No, I was asking about Terrence got paid more than he did.
Yeah. I think he asked for like, it was around $1 million at that point, and they're like, that's more than we pay RDJ. Which, if you know how movies work, main character makes the most money, so.
Yeah. Unless you're like a really special guest star.
Yeah.
But so, have we all seen the first Iron Man movie?
Yeah.
Yay! So we all remember it probably. It's
Yay.
pretty great. Definitely like top 5. Take a moment for that picture of Robert Downey Jr. at the bottom. It's so good. Anyway, Iron Man.
Iron Man.
And then we also have an end credit scene. Marvel has begun the epidemic of mid and end credit scenes in movies.
Yay!
So we meet Nick Fury, who teases the idea that Tony Stark isn't the only superhero out there.
Ooh.
Crazy. Then our next movie, we have The Incredible Hulk. I meant to delete some of those, that's okay. This movie is not... This movie's weird. Because it's not really like a Disney MCU Marvel movie, but it also kind of is. I've also never seen it before because I don't care. But we first start off with Edward Norton as our Bruce Banner / Hulk. He doesn't come back.
Nope.
Everybody else on that list does come back. Not Edward Norton. But it was released in 2008. Cool. So basically, I have to look at this because I have not seen this movie. So Bruce Banner is a scientist on the run from the U.S. government, and he must find a cure for the monster he turns into whenever he loses his temper. Wow. Crazy. Would anybody like me to read the entire slide?
Basically what happens is this is the whole movie of Bruce just trying to figure out how to deal with the Hulk, and then figures out that he can't remove it, and then accidentally makes the supervillain Brainiac, which you'll need to know later.
Yeah.
So what is canon?
So, the plot of this movie is canon,
Yes, the plot of
the
the
cast
movie.
of the movie is not. Yes. Some of the cast is canon, some of the cast is not
It gets
canon.
weird. Because it gets even weirder because then, guess what? There's an end credit scene with Robert Downey Jr. in it. Wow, basically tying it to the MCU. Where he meets up with William Hurt, who plays Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. He comes back and is, I've never seen the scene. I don't know what's on, but ta-da! They meet each other, so it kind of weirdly ties it to the MCU, and then it gets even wonkier later. But anyway, then we have another Marvel movie that's not MCU. Like I said, anything on a white background is not a Disney MCU movie. It's another Marvel movie. But we have Punisher Warzone from 2008.
The what?
Wow, a new guy playing Frank Castle, the Punisher. Great, crazy. Good for him. Anyway, and then we have X-Men Origins, Wolverine, from 2009, with the first rendition of Deadpool, which was really horrible. Yay!
Terrible.
Alright, then we have Iron Man 2. This came out in 2010, and it has all of our main cast members coming back with the change of Don Cheadle as Rhodey instead. We love Don Cheadle over here. And we also get introduced to Scarlett Johansson as her alias Natalie Rushman, or Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow. Yay! Alright,
Well,
have we all seen Iron Man 2?
yes.
You haven't? Like, call you out! Anyway, so basically, well, basically, in Iron Man 2, Tony Stark is dying. Boo!
So nice with this guy?
Choose your future friend's wife. But anyway, yeah, so Tony Stark is dying, and so he's trying to kind of find a cure, but in that process, he's also like living life to the fullest, which is pretty destructive. And after he kind of tries to deny that, people are making successful Iron Man suits, this guy shows up with a sort of Iron Man suit and is like, boom, that technology is possible. This movie also features Another One Bites the Dust by Queen, which is iconic. Slay. But yeah, this is a pretty good movie, pretty solid, highly enjoyed. We don't enjoy Elon Musk's cameo. Anyway.
What? Forgot about that one.
Over.
Just
What?
skip over. But then we have an end credit scene. Woo! This one is S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Phil Coulson. He drives into a crater in the New Mexico desert and discovers Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, partially buried in the ground, which I don't know if that's the next slide, but it takes us to the next Marvel movie, or MCU movie. Is it the next slide? It is!
Yeah.
2011. The movie with bleached eyebrows, which was a choice. This has Chris Hemsworth as Thor. And he, amongst all of, my favorite thing is all the Asgardians speak with British accents. And then you have Thor, who has an Australian accent. It's really funny to me. But anyway, so we have Thor, we love. So have we all seen Thor?
Yes.
Yay. You just don't get to answer my questions. But we love Thor. Oh god, I was saying something. Good.
Actually, I might have seen that. That guy was familiar.
I love you're like that guy, and there's
Like the weird guy
seven.
with like the pointy horn.
Oh, Heimdall. That's Heimdall.
Well, I've seen him once.
What? That's okay. Anyway, this is my Loki slide because I love.
Yes!
He looks so good in this
Prime entertainment.
movie. He's such a child. I love it. He's almost 30, but he looks like a baby. Anyway, such a child. It's like, okay. So then we have the end credit scene. So at the end of Thor, Loki supposedly dies by falling just into space. Sad day. He was kind of bad, so I mean, kind of. But we soon see in the end credit scene that he isn't dead. Whoa! And then he's actually going to start coming after the Tesseract, our first Infinity Stone. But we don't know that yet. Anyway. Then we have X-Men First Class.
They just keep making these on the. They just keep doing their own thing.
And later you'll see, I gave up a little bit. But anyway, so we have X-Men First Class, which brings in an entire new cast to play the X-Men as their younger versions. Was released in 2011. Crazy. Anyway, I don't know what else to say.
I think that was the one I watched. The only X-Men movie I watched because I remember Mystique.
It's got the beach divorce. It's pretty rough.
Don't remember any of that. I just remember Mystique.
Okay. Anyway, so then we have Captain America, the first Avenger. So this comes out in 2011. It's got Chris Evans as Steve Rogers. Guess where we saw him? Fantastic Four. This is not the first time the Human Torch gets redeemed in the MCU. We'll see it later. Anyway, so we have Captain America, First Avenger. I'm going to assume everyone's seen it, but
Yes.
just in case, there's the Tesseract. Wow, it's really important in this movie. So we have Hydra, the science faction of the Nazis. Boo. Anyway, so that red dude up there, he's Red Skull. You never would have been able to guess that. I know. So he is the head of Hydra. He is trying to steal the Tesseract. He actually does steal the Tesseract. He's using it to make super powerful weapons to take out people, but he also knows that there's more to it. He just doesn't tell people because that makes him seem a lot crazier. But he is. Yeah.
Is this where Iron Man died on?
No.
Is this movie?
No.
What movie is that?
That's,
We'll get
okay,
It
that's a little
comes
bit
up
later.
later.
It's that.
in this.
You see that corner?
Yeah,
I'm
so
so
right there, that's how it starts. Oh wait, I have a mouse. Howard Stark. We love Dominic Cooper playing Howard Stark. He's an icon right there. This we were just talking about Agent Carter. We're getting there. So one of the important things to note is that at the end of the movie, Steve Rogers is flying his plane and he's like, I gotta put it in the water because otherwise all these bombs are going to the United States and people will die. And so he takes it to the water. People think he died, but then they discover 70 years later, he's alive. Somehow, some way, he survived 70 years in the ice. Crazy. And he wakes up in the modern day and is like, dang, I had a date. Really sad. And then our end credit scene is a teaser for the Avengers. It's literally like a trailer for the Avengers. And then we have Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, because that movie's not done.
Just
Came
doing
out
their
in
own thing.
2012 with Nicolas Cage. Crazy. And Idris Elba, who was in Thor as Heimdall. There's a lot of actor sharing going on. I've seen a lot of the same names as I've typed up these lines. Anywho. Then we have the Avengers! Yes! Massive cast list. I could not put everybody down. There are a lot of important people. Basically everybody you just saw. And then we also have more people. Just trying to say, I think we've met all of these people already technically in the movies. The only new person whom I didn't put is Maria Hill. We love Maria Hill. Maria?
That's what?
Yeah, it's first time.
Like that's the character's name?
Yeah, that's the character's name. I can't remember the. Oh wait,
No,
Kobe.
she's
I don't know. She played Robin and Happy. Anyway,
no.
anywho, so we have the Avengers. This is huge because this is the first time that a movie has brought together characters from completely separate franchises into one. So this has completely changed the superhero genre as we know it. Wow. We can blame it for all of our problems today. Anyway, came out in 2012. I remember going to see it in theaters. I remember nothing other than like one scene, and that's it. But,
Yeah.
ta-da! Loki's back. He's our big main villain. You know, he's really. You good?
When I'm with you,
That's the
they're just
picture you
skipping
put
around.
of Phil. Yeah, so this right here is Phil Coulson as he's dying.
As he's dying.
He actually might already be dead at this point, if I'm being so. Is he still dying?
He's dying.
Okay.
He's bleeding out.
Well, because Phil's death is the catalyst that brings all the Avengers together. death.
Well,
Anyway,
that's the
no one
aliens
actually
in
really
the
stays
portal that they
dead.
want to nuke New York City for
Um,
some reason,
anyway,
and he's like,
so
no,
we
we
have-
should nuke up as the portal.
We have the Shatari aliens. They're really weird. They're and this is is this where we meet them? Anyway, Loki is using his scepter to try and get the Tesseract. He loses.
Are the aliens relevant in any other part of the
They get mentioned at least two other times.
They are relevant in the direct next Avengers movie for at least the first 20 minutes.
Okay, because I was watching this like earlier this year, I'm like, do they ever come back? They're kind of just like in a big
Their
portal.
Corpses come back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah. And then we have our mid-credit scene, which is our introduction
Oh.
to Thanos.
Oh,
He
it looks so
looks
bad.
Very different in this mid-credit scene.
Oh.
I love
But I don't think we get a
No,
name.
he's written this one.
He is just, there as his like lackey dude, is like, we lost. Thanos is like, crazy. But anyway, that's the mid-credit scene, and that's it. Then we have The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield from 2012, with also Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. Crazy. You'll see these names. Most of these names. Then we get to Phase 2, which is now going to be on a blue background. Yay! How are we doing on time? Not great. It's okay. We start with Iron Man 3, which is technically a Christmas movie. Fight me on it. Anyway, it's released in 2013 with all of our favorites back again, including Guy Pearce as Aldrich Killian, Ben Kingsley as Trevor Slattery. You'll see one of those names again much later down the line. So Iron Man 3 is unfortunately a lot of people's least favorite Marvel movie for no reason whatsoever. They just suck. Anyway, how many of you have seen Iron Man 3?
Yeah.
Yay! People breathe fire.
Oh, yeah.
One dude breathes fire once. But they're like really kind of crazy overpowered. LOL. Yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty chill. Yay. It's the only time we really see any of the heroes have mental effects from the invasion of New York. This is like the only time. And yes, Jenna Ortega is in this movie.
Wait.
Yeah.
She plays the vice president's daughter who's missing a leg.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the proof of why the vice president is a bad guy and is working for the fire people, because their whole thing is they bring back your limbs.
Oh.
It's kind of weird to explain.
It's
I
originally
need to rewatch
directed
it.
as a the main guy is disabled when he makes it, and so it's a way to cure his own. Well, he doesn't make it; he steals it from someone. But it's as a way to help his own disability. And then as he's trying to fix it, he also brings in disabled veterans, and then it spurs on to other disabled people.
Okay.
And it has some unintended side effects. He does breathe fire. I almost put that picture in there. I did not.
You should
Anyway,
have.
there's a really awesome Mandarin dude in the middle who is actually like kind of terrifying up until you realize that he's not. And then it gets kind of silly goofy. But anyway, the important thing to note is the end credit scene. It's a little silly. It's not that important in the grand scheme of things, but it does show Tony Stark and Bruce Banner becoming friends. Yay! And I
Yay.
forgot to mention in the Avengers, Mark Ruffalo now plays the Hulk. Yay! We love Mark Ruffalo. Anywho, so now, things on a gray background are Marvel TV shows that kind of tie to the MCU. We have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a great TV show. Yay! We have Phil Coulson come back. He didn't die.
Yay.
Only in the show, though. We don't ever learn that information within the actual MCU. So, good times. But
We do though. With the baseball cards being messages.
Steve learns because he said like the baseball cards were in his locker.
we'll see. That was just
And then
Nick Fury wanted to find a way to like
And he
charge
is-
the troops, and he was like, "I'm gonna cover these in his blood."
yeah, and so, but that's how Steve
But they
figured
still
out he
think
wasn't
it's-
actually dead.
No, they still thought he was dead.
No, that was just a guilt trip to
Oh.
like this is a reminder.
Manipulation. Nick
Okay.
Fury's the master manipulator.
At that point in time, Phil Coulson is half dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just never fully dies. It's that thing where they're like, oh, we can resurrect you because you only reached like halfway to death.
You know, Princess Bride.
They have dead.
Yes. Then we get the Wolverine. I haven't seen this one. Oh wow. It's released in 2013.
Wow.
That's all I got. Okay. Then we get Thor, The Dark World, which is much better than people say it is, mainly because Loki's in it. It's released in 2013, and everybody's back, but we have a new villain, Malekith, played by Christopher.
Eccleston?
So we have our introduction to the Ether, which is a third Infinity Stone. I think our count's up to 3. Tesseract, 3. Because we haven't, 3. Anyway, as of right now. But I do believe that we kind of learn about the Infinity Stones in this movie. Thor is he's got this knowledge now. He doesn't really share until a little bit later. That's okay. But yeah, Jane Foster gets infected with the Ether and gets to go to Asgard. Yay, road trip. And then Loki dies. But not really. This is a different one. That was such a sad transition. Anyway, so our mid-credit scene, we have 2 of Thor's friends, aka Asgardian warriors, go to this random planet. Ooh, crazy. We have no idea where it is.
Wow.
No idea where. Anyway, so they're like, the Tesseract is already on Asgard. We can't have 2 Infinity Stones near each other. That would be a bad idea. And so the Collector takes it, and then it's like 1 down, 5 to go. Really creepy. But really tempting. And then,
Yes. Wait.
That's true.
It's okay.
Anyway, Loki didn't die. He pretends to be Odin and pretends to rule Asgard.
Literally the last frame of the movie.
Anyway, then we have Captain America the Winter Soldier, and if you didn't know, Tuesday, the Johnson Large Theater, we're screening it with the Screenwriters Club. Come
Yay.
see the movie, please. It's gonna be so good. I'll be there. I'm obligated to. But anyway, this is released in 2014. This is not the official poster. I just really like it because it's cool, and it has Anthony Mackie on it, and he's not on the official poster. So this is neater. Anyway, we've got our lovely people back that we know. We've been introduced to Anthony Mackie, who plays Sam Wilson / the Falcon,
Yeah.
and Robert Redford as Alexander Pierce. What's his official title? Just head. He is a head of S.H.I.E.L.D. Crazy. I think is he technically above?
No, I think they're on the same level.
Yeah, they're like, yeah. Anyway, Steve Rogers and Natasha Romanoff in this movie, we love. But anyway, I'm assuming everyone in here has seen this movie.
Yes.
Yay! It's so good. Come see it Tuesday night, 8 p.m. at the Johnson Large Theater. Come get some Wellcore. Don't ask me what kind. Anyway, I don't know. But anyway, we learn in this movie that Hydra has been growing inside of S.H.I.E.L.D. ever since basically right after the end of World War II when S.H.I.E.L.D. was started, because they recruited one of the scientists, Arnim Zola, and they were like, hey, you're smart, come help us out. They didn't think of the repercussions, and that was silly of them. But we learned that it's been growing and that Alexander Pierce is a bad guy, boo! But yeah, they take it down. They find the Winter Soldier. It's Bucky Barnes. Who's Bucky? Anyway. It's crazy. Sorry, I just really don't want to read through the entire thing, and I feel weird telling people about a movie they've seen. Anyway. And a movie that you can go see! So then we have the mid and end credit scenes. The layout's different because I did this slide. But anyway, so our mid-credit scene, we see a Hydra agent come up and meet a man named Baron von Strucker. And he shows him, we see Loki's scepter, and it's like, whoa, crazy, how did that get there? And then we also see these 2 people, I keep pointing at the computer screen, you can't see that. We have these 2 people, whoa, powers, crazy. Leads us directly to Age of Ultron. Captain America movies like to do that every now and then. And then we have our end credit scene, which is Bucky Barnes going to the Smithsonian to the Captain America exhibit to read the display about him. Wow. What's next? The Amazing Spider-Man 2!
Yeah!
This came out in 2014 with Andrew Garfield back, and R.I.P. Emma Stone. This is the last Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie. I thought it was really funny when everyone was like, we should have gotten an Amazing Spider-Man 3, and Andrew Garfield was like, where were you in 2014? And people were like, I was 7. What was I supposed to do? I've not seen this movie for very good reason. I don't want to be sad. Anyway, as you'll learn, I hate being sad. Anyway, then we have
What?
Days of Future Past.
What are they doing over there? Starring everyone.
There's a lot of people in this movie. If you've seen them in a previous X-Men movie, there's a good chance they're in this one.
You was there
The
too.
timeline gets really funky too.
Oh.
Don't ask me about it. I don't
Lovely.
Is
know.
that why it's called David?
Yeah.
Probably. Then we have Guardians of the Galaxy.
I've never seen.
These characters were.
I didn't think of that. Oh,
Vin Diesel was Groot?
You can see behind the scenes of him in like the voice recording booth.
Whoa.
And it's so funny. I honestly want to say he may have also done his lines in other languages because it's just I am Groot.
no.
Hold on. I don't want to say French. I
No,
don't
it was
know.
all
But
bad.
anyway, it's a good movie. Sorry, I lost my train of thought so hard. Anyway, we get introduced to our 4th Infinity Stone, the Power Stone. Apologies for the really crappy quality picture. Google was failing me. We also get a full body shot of Thanos. He still looks a little bit off from his final form, kind of in between
That's not the name.
from where we've seen him so far to where he ends up. Anyway, so yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm gonna go with that. We've seen it. Yay!
Yay.
It's a great movie. It's a Big Hero 6. This is a Marvel movie. It has a Stan Lee cameo and everything. It is a Marvel movie. It was released in 2014. As always. Yeah.
It says movie.
Since it was based on Marvel Comics.
Yeah. Yeah.
You forget the rest of them are Disney too.
It's crazy.
Yes, but.
Yeah. This is just Disney first, as opposed to like Marvel Studios first.
Well, no, there's no Marvel at all.
Yeah, you know, it's on the deal. But anyway, Big Hero 6, yay!
Yes.
Yay.
Then we have Avengers, Age of Ultron. Honestly, I really enjoyed this movie because of a lot of the camaraderie we see between the heroes. We don't really see that much, or in the other movies, so it's pretty nice. But we have our original 6 back, and then we also have James Spader as Ultron. We get Aaron Taylor Johnson as Pietro Maximoff, and we get Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff.
Yay.
And then we have Paul Bettany, who has been in the movie since Iron Man. He can no longer record all his lines in a day and then get paid for it. He actually has to come on set and play a person now. Anywho. So Avengers Age of Ultron, they have been trying to take down Hydra bases and find Loki's scepter. They find Loki's scepter,
And they're all like,
and then they're gonna have a party, but Tony Stark is like, hey, I wanna build a suit of armor around the world. Hey Bruce, we're buddies, we're science bros. Come with me. And it backfires really, really badly. And it kind of creates a teeny tiny rift in the team. Not good. But anyway, as they're figuring this out, they also run into Pietro and Wanda, these superpowered individuals who volunteered for Hydra experiments, which is a little crazy, but it's okay. And then the Vision comes to life, and it's Jarvis in human form. I don't know how to explain that, but it's fine.
he loves Wanda.
Anyway, the Avengers win. Yay! Then we have our mid-credit scene, Thanos retrieving the Infinity Gauntlet, and dissatisfied with the failure of another pawn, vows to hunt for the Infinity Stones personally. Fine, I'll do it myself. Drama. And then we have Agent Carter, and I did include a picture of my main man, Jack Thompson. I love Chad Michael Murray. We have Agent Carter. It was on TV from 2015 to 2016. It only had 2 seasons. It should have had a 3rd, but it got canceled and it ended on the stupidest cliffhanger in the world.
No.
But this is really important because it kind of teaches us a little bit about just, we get to see some characters and understand some things in the MCU, including a character named Edwin Jarvis, who was Howard Stark's butler, so we can kind of connect the dots of, oh my gosh, Jarvis, the AI assistant. Whoa, crazy. Anyway. phenomenal show. If you've never seen it, you should watch it. It's so good. I love this movie. It's not a movie, it's a show. But it's so good.
But it's a game.
No.
Okay.
There's not really any sci-fi. A little bit of sci-fi, but it's mostly like spy. Yeah, we love spy. It also kind of introduces us to the Red Room a little bit, which we hear
But-
bits and pieces of from Natasha. But anyway, then we have the TV show Jessica Jones. Went from 2015 to 2019, 3 seasons. I tried to watch this with my dad, and the first episode opens up on a man and woman having sex. And my dad and I were like, we're gonna try something else. So we moved on.
Oh, it's called Jessica.
But it's a pretty good show. I think I watched the first season and a half, and it has David Tennant in it. He's a great show. Then we have, there's a lot of TV shows. We have Daredevil, crazy. This is the first time he's come back, now played by Charlie Cox, R.I.P. Ben Affleck, it's actually okay. But it was on from 2015 to 2018, it's rated TVMA. I think the last one was too. It's also 3 seasons. And then we get Ant-Man! Yay! This came out in 2015. This has Paul Rudd now starring as our main man, Scott Lang / Ant-Man. And it also has the very last person on that list. This is purely for myself. My main man, Joe Crest, as Frank. For those of you who don't know, that's my second cousin right there. We represent. And there he is. I put a picture of him up in the top corner. There's my main man, Frank. He gets turned into gel and flushed down a toilet, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
It's pretty sad. Anyway, Marvel movie. But anyway, so Ant-Man, pretty slay. We open up with our man Hank Pym down here, kind of getting, sorry, that was a horrible circle. This guy, he kind of gets it in bad graces with S.H.I.E.L.D. It's not so great. He makes technology that makes people tiny. Yay!
Why did you do that?
Things happen. You know, ants. We love ants. I don't know. But anyway, yay! It also has an end credit scene where we have an introduction to the Wasp. Crazy. What am I thinking of? Hold on. What are you thinking? What? Sorry, I'm so silly. Doesn't this have a trailer for Civil War?
Yes, it does. But it's a direct scene from Civil War, so I didn't include it because it's literally, it gets repeated.
Fair. Anyway, there is a teaser for Civil War at the end of the movie. Yay! And then we have Fantastic Four at Take 2.
Oh my god.
It didn't go well. But guess what? We see Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm. We're going to see him again. We like to redeem our Human Torches over here. Ooh, we deserve it. Phase 3!
Yay!
Now purple slides.
Purple.
Crazy. We start with Deadpool, a non-MCU movie. This was released in 2016. Ryan Reynolds is back for the 3rd time on this slideshow. And he's playing Deadpool again, but a much better version of Deadpool this time. It's a really funny movie. Highly, highly recommend. Anyway, then we have Captain America Civil War. This came out in 2016. This was the first movie I saw where I had to pay for an adult ticket, I think it was. It's special. Anyway, I was no longer a child in the eyes of the movie theater. But so we have most of our original 6, we just don't have Hulk and Thor. And we have a lot of other returning characters and the introduction of Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa or the Black Panther.
Yay.
And we get introduced to Tom Holland as our next Spider-Man.
Yay.
And our main villain is Zemo. Daniel Bruhl? Sure. I can only type the accents, I can't say them. But anyway, so Captain America Civil War, I won't share my hot take. Anyway, this sees the Avengers kind of split into 2.
That's Cheryl.
They split into Team Cap, pictured above,
I think I have seen it.
and Team Iron Man, pictured down low. Anyway, so this is bad, and this really is a catalyst for a lot of what's about to happen next. A lot of what happens next is because Zemo decided to try and split the Avengers apart, because his family died in Sokovia in Age of Ultron. Really sad. So I mean, I get it, you're sad, but like also, I don't think terrorism is the choice. I'm sorry. Maybe therapy. Anywho, But yeah, we get introduced to Spider-Man. Look at him. He's so cutesy. Yay. Anyway,
I miss how connected all these movies used to be.
I know. It got a little too big for his britches. Anyway. Then our mid-credit scene is we see that Bucky Barnes has been granted asylum in Wakanda, aka where T'Challa is from. It's a secret little country that nobody knows about. And I mean, if you hear of it, you're like, oh, that's like a silly little developing country. Pay it no mind. Anywho, surprise. The end credit scene is Peter Parker back in his apartment after being in the fight, and he is hiding his injuries from Aunt May and also revealing his spider signal projector, a gift from Tony Stark. He's not being left alone anytime soon.
Also, for anyone who's watched these movies, I've tried to only include the end credit scenes that like have plot relevance. So if you're wondering why some are missing, that's why, because some of them are just there as gags and we love them, but
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, like we didn't want to talk about Howard.
Tony Stank.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, Tony
Yeah,
Stank.
I think that is.
Yeah.
We love him.
Is that the credits?
Anyway,
Tony's fine.
then we have X-Men Apocalypse.
What screen?
Yeah, that's a lot. Came out in 2016. Yay. Anyway. Then we have Doctor Strange. This is such a good movie. Came out in 2016 with Doctor Strange being played by Benedict Cumberbatch. And we have a lot of really awesome visuals in this movie. Like, it's so good.
Yes.
How has CGI gotten worse? But anyway, that's a soapbox. Anywho, so we get introduced to our 5th Infinity Stone, the Time Stone. Crazy. You'll never guess what it does. But anyway, so Dr. Stephen Strange is a very egotistical doctor. He gets into a car accident. He can't use his hands anymore. He can no longer be a doctor. And so he goes on a healing journey and finds, how do I say it? Camartage. There you go. Camartage. And where he meets the Ancient One, who in this picture right up here sends him on the worst trip of his life. But he comes out and he's like, I want to learn. I want to be better. And he also sees a guy playing basketball who was fully paralyzed and is now playing basketball. He's like, please, I want to do this. And he becomes a superhero. Yay! That's how it usually goes around here. Anyway, we have our end credit scene where we see this guy. He's starting to track down sorcerers because he realized that a lot of the source of magic is bad and dark magic. Bad. But he's kind of going about it in a little bit of a scary way. Not so great. I don't think that ever actually goes anywhere. It was supposed to, I'm sure. Then we have another show, Luke Cage.
Never heard of it.
2016 to 2018. Had 2 seasons.
Oh, okay, don't worry.
Woohoo! I haven't seen it. I'm sorry. And then we have Logan,
Who?
2017. Wolverine.
Oh.
His first name is Logan.
That's Hugh
Ah.
Jackman.
There. He's just like
That's just
Okay.
Like this.
Once I see it.
But
That's Hugh Jackman.
Wolverine is his middle name.
Was this unusual?
Spoiler alert, he dies. Logan dies in this movie.
Oh.
R.I.P.
Is that why he ends up where he does in the movie that he shows up in?
Yes.
You're correct. And then we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yeah.
2017, we have our Guardians back. This time we have Vin Diesel playing Baby Groot. Because he's a baby now.
Baby.
Yeah.
Then we have our new addition, Tom Clemente as Mantis. We get Kurt Russell as Ego, and Elizabeth Debicki as Aisha. Pretty crazy. Peter Quill finds his dad, insane, then finds out his dad is this all-powerful being who is a planet.
I know that sounds
Oh, so
bad.
that is a planet too.
It's pretty bad, and we find out that Ego has been having children all over the galaxy because. But we find his mass grave of his children who didn't have any powers. People are like, oh crap, this dude is probably bad news. Luckily, Peter Quill escapes, kills him, takes care of the problem. It's kind of rough. But Yondu, who has kind of been weirdly raising him, Peter Quill realizes, oh, you know what? Well, Ego's my father, you're my dad, and then Yondu dies. Alright, don't be a
Love
father figure in the
Yondu.
MCU. It doesn't go well for you. Anyway, we have an end credit scene where Aisha is really sad that she lost against the Guardians. She was really sad about that. And we get a little teaser to Adam Warlock. We also see Groot is starting to grow back to normal size. He's no longer a little stick. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Anyway. Then we have Spider-Man Homecoming, our first Spider-Man film in the MCU. And it's not an origin story. It is instead picking up right after Captain America Civil War. And we kind of get to see how Peter Parker has been living his life in the MCU. Instead of seeing how he gets his life in the MCU. That makes sense.
I have a question.
Yes.
I don't remember the Flash being in there. It says the Flash is in there.
As Flash.
Yes.
Yes, because
There's a different Flash?
that's his
that's
bully's
his
name. His name is Flash Thompson.
Oh! I'll see myself out.
He goes by Flash. His name's really Eugene Thompson, but it's like his cool high school name.
Oh. Well, he should have gotten copyrighted.
He should have. You're right. Fun fact, that picture of Tom Holland was taken while he was asleep. Yeah. Not in a creepy way. But anyway, so we kind of get to see Peter Parker after Civil War, and he's like, hey, I'm a superhero now. Like, give me superhero duties. And Tony Stark is like, you're a kid. I'll let you know when I have something for you. And kind of puts Happy Hogan as like, babysit. And then the Vulture appears, and the Vulture's a bad guy. Ooh. Did I put him on the last slide?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Where's Michael Keaton? Plays him. Woohoo. He comes back. I saw him somewhere else. Anyway, not as. But anyway, sorry. Anyway, crazy. Sorry. I'm sure everyone's seen this movie. Even you were nodding. I'm so proud of you.
That's all knowledge. Like Love Island age acting too.
So then we get our mid-credit scene where it shows that Vulture, who was not killed because Peter Parker's better than that, for now. He instead imprisons the Vulture, and we see somebody who is like, hey, I heard you know who that kid is. I really want to know who he is too. And Vulture's like, no, I don't. Protecting Peter Parker's identity because, he saved his life. Then we have Thor Ragnarok.
Oh my god.
Came out in 2017. It has our main peeps back again, and this time we have Mark Ruffalo in there as Bruce Banner Hulk. This is what they were up to during Civil War. They were up to, big important things instead of fighting their friends. And then we also have Jeff Goldblum, which, as we should. And Kate Blanchett as Hela. She's our new main villain. We find out, crazy, she's Thor's older sister. Whoa, secret child. The goddess of death. Anywho, have you seen this movie?
Maybe.
It's okay.
I feel like I've seen it, but I also feel like I didn't watch the whole thing somehow.
That's fair. So unfortunate, but it's okay. It's a lot.
I'll watch it.
Anyway, shockingly, Loki doesn't fake die at the end of this movie.
Wow.
That comes later.
It's like 15 minutes after the end of this movie.
Yeah, a little bit. Snipe. At the end of this movie, we do in fact see Asgard get completely obliterated into space. It doesn't exist anymore.
Man.
R.I.P. Sucks to suck. And during right before that happens, we do see Loki catch a glimpse of the Tesseract, and he's like, "Oh, crazy. What if I just?" But we don't know what happens after that. Not right now, at least. Anywho, then we have our mid-credit scene. This is really unfortunate, but Thor and Loki, they're discussing their future and their decision to go to Earth, because they're like, we're gonna bring the people of Asgard to Earth. Thor's like, they love me there, and Loki's like, no, I don't think they love me very much. And while they're in the middle of that conversation, Thanos finds them. Womp womp.
Well.
Then we have another TV show. This lasted for one season in 2017.
Was it a pilot season?
That's it. It was also, I don't even think it was like a 20 episode season. I'm pretty sure it was pretty short. Alright. And then we have the Iron Fist from 2017 to 2018. This had 2 seasons. Crazy.
Never.
And then we have the Punisher TV show. You saw the movies. We have yet another guy playing Punisher. From 2017 to 2019, 2 seasons. There's a few TV shows.
Wow.
2017 to 2019, we have the TV show Runaways. I watched the first season of this show.
Is it
I
good?
can't remember why. I think I liked the first season. I don't know why I didn't finish it. Oh well. But anyway, yeah, 2 seasons, crazy. Alright, and then we have Black Panther, super good movie. This came out in early 2018, with Chadwick Boseman coming back, and then, hey look, Michael B. Jordan's back, Human Torch.
Yeah.
We love to see it. But anyway, he comes back as Killmonger. Yay, cast list. My favorite fact about this movie is that after it came out, adoption rates for black cats went skyrocketing. People were naming their black cats after characters in this movie, including someone who did adopt a cat and named it Killmonger. It happens. Anywho, this takes place like right after Civil War. In Civil War, T'Challa's dad was murdered in a terrorist attack. Boo.
Rip.
So he comes back and he has to prepare to be king. It goes swimmingly. Anywho, yeah, it's pretty chill. I'm assuming everyone has seen it. It's pretty great. Again, I'm sorry. We have an end credit scene where we see Bucky! Yay! He is missing an arm, R.I.P. But we see that Shuri is helping Bucky Barnes with his recuperation and getting him back into society. Yay. And then we have Avengers Infinity War.
This is the first one I went to theaters with my family.
Yay! Solid movie to see in
It
theaters.
was a good movie.
This came out April 27th, 2018. It was supposed to come out a week later, but they were like, no, let's move it up a week. And I got 2 spoilers. Anyway, no, 3 spoilers. Anyway, this has a lot of people in it. Again, almost everyone we've seen up to this point is in this movie. Not Hawkeye. He's nowhere to be found. Then we have Dr. Roland as Thanos. He does a pretty good job. Anywho, I still remember when people were theorizing that the reason Thanos had those stripes on his face was from Wolverine. I remember those days. Those days were glorious. Anyway, so up to this point, we technically have only seen 5 out of the 6 Infinity Stones. We meet number 6 in a horrid way in this movie. But we have Thanos, and he is collecting the Infinity Stones. And he is like, hey, half the population needs to disappear because you guys need more resources. And that's clearly the answer to all of these problems. And obviously the Avengers are like, no, I don't really like that idea. And unfortunately, at the beginning of this movie, Loki is killed. Pretty solidly this time. There's as Thanos says, no coming back from that one. Unfortunate. But anyway, it weirdly works out in the end. This is a crazy movie in the fact that they lose. It's like one of the first big superhero movies where they lose at the end. And people are like, whoa. What do you mean they lost? What do you mean? And then half the population just kind of dusts away, including Peter Parker in a really, really sad improvised scene. I hate Tom Holland for that.
It was improvised?
Yeah.
Oh.
Anywho, then we have the end credit scene, which is an iconic end credit scene. I'm totally not biased. But we see Nick Fury and Marie Hill, they're just chilling in the car driving when all of a sudden things look crazy and they're like, wait, whoa, what the heck's going on? Get out of their car, people are disappearing, helicopters are crashing. And then they start to disappear. And it's like, oh no. Nick Fury hits something, the little device, he goes doo-doo-doo-doo, drops on the ground, and we see that symbol. Crazy.
So when did you do that at the beginning?
Well, he didn't know what was going on. He's uninformed. Then we have Deadpool 2. Hey, guess what? Josh Brolin's back. He plays Cable. Anyway, we see this came out in 2018, and yeah, it's also a pretty good movie. Almost everyone comes back from the first movie, including some of the minor characters. Then we have Ant-Man and the Wasp. This also came out in 2018. We have a lot of our returning characters from the first movie. We have our new villain, Walton Goggins, as Sonny Birch, Hannah John Kamen, sure, as Ava Starr / Ghost. And then we get introduced to Randall Park as Jimmy Woo. We love Jimmy Woo in here.
Yeah.
And this is the first MCU movie with a female character in the title. It took
Wow.
10 years, but we got there.
Took them that long.
So, Ant-Man and the Wasp, this happens right after Civil War. Hank Pym and Hope are kind of mad at Scott. They're like, dude, what the heck? Scott's all like, yeah, I'm friends with Cap now. And they're like, get over yourself, loser. Anyway, so the main plot of this movie is the search for Hope's mother, who hasn't been there because she got sucked into the quantum realm. Ooh. Crazy. They do get her back, and Scott Lang manages to not break his parole. Awesome. And then we have the mid-credit scene. Ooh. Where Scott is going into the quantum realm to try and continue helping our main villain Ghost, and he's kind of stuck in there because everybody outside kind of turns to dust. Not great.
Uh-oh.
Oh well. Then we get Venom in 2018. This has Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock / Venom. Woohoo. Anyway. Then we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Comes out the end of 2018. We love to see it. It's a phenomenal movie with a lot of awesome people in the cast. I knew you'd be excited. Then we have Captain Marvel. This is the first MCU movie with a female lead. I love Captain Marvel. It's very good. Came out in 2019 on International Women's Day. Fun fact. It's got Brie Larson as Veers, as she's known at the beginning of the movie. We also get a digitally de-aged Samuel L. Jackson and Clark Gregg as Phil Coulson. And yeah, it's nice. But how many of you have seen this movie? Okay, Slay. I didn't want to have to. I'm happy to yap about this movie, but I don't have to yap as much.
I love this movie.
But this is where we see Nick Fury. Is that mentioned on another slide? Probably. Anyway, we see how Nick Fury lost his eye, which we love. I love that backstory. I think it's hilarious that the person he trusted was a cat. But anywho, we do see in this movie aliens on Earth before the Battle of New York in 2012, which we don't hear much of up until this point. Obviously, probably because they didn't plot it that way, but also because the aliens are shapeshifters and they're hiding. It comes back. But yay, we love. And Nick Fury was at the end of the actual movie. Nick Fury names it the Avengers Initiative because Carol Danvers' call sign in the Air Force was the Avenger. And he's like, hey, that's a solid thing right there. Ooh, I'm gonna go back. At the end of this movie, Carol Danvers takes Nick Fury's SHIELD issued pager, changes it up a little bit, and is like, hey, use this for emergencies only. This is how you can contact me. And she's very for emergencies only. Guess what he did at the end of Infinity War? Emergency. But anyway, we have an end credit scene where we see Goose the cat, or a frickin', coughing up the Tesseract. He's fallen in the movie, and this is how the Tesseract got back on Earth in the 90s. I don't remember the timeline of the Tesseract and where it went and how it got to places. It's kind of been all over. It's just kind of hanging around. But anywho, then we get to Avengers Endgame. It's the longest MCU movie up to this point, at 3 hours and 1 minute long. Shockingly, at this point, it is the most expensive. It's not the most expensive for long. Anywho, it has everyone. That's all I'll say. This is an insane movie. I did put the fate of 3 of our big heroes, or big moments for them in there. One of them is pretty unfortunate, I'm so sorry. But Avengers Endgame is basically they are trying to undo what Thanos did. We open up and see what happened to Clint Barton, why he wasn't really there in the first in Infinity War. He lost his whole family. That's really sad, bro. But anyway, so the Avengers did not.
No, he retired.
Captain America.
No, he is not.
Well, I guess.
He died, but he retired.
He's retired. Anyway,
Well, I know behind.
Anywho, so the plan didn't work. 5 years later, big jump. Scott Lang comes back out, thanks to where we're at. We stand. Yeah. Everyone in this room has seen Endgame. If you haven't, okay, thank you for nodding your head. So proud. And then we have X-Men Dark Phoenix. Woohoo! From
I wanted to watch
2019.
this movie.
I know it didn't make your next team's go so well.
This one has Sophie Turner, Jean Grey. Woohoo! Oh yeah.
Wait, is that movie good?
No.
It isn't?
Not at all.
That
No.
was so
They
good.
do my man Cyclops so dirty in that movie.
So sorry.
Don't watch it. Watch all the other
Okay,
ones.
I was so interested because that's when I was getting into Marvel and stuff, and so I wanted to watch. My parents were like, "No!" Forgot one.
It's okay. Anywho, and then we get to Spider-Man Far From Home. This takes place right after Endgame, so we see the effects of Peter Parker and we see what happened to after the snap, how people came back just suddenly, which raises a lot of interesting questions of if I was in a plane and I snapped, do I just reappear in the air? That's pretty bad. Anyway, we see what happens. We see that our main cast of teenagers, they all disappear, so they're all still in high school. But they get to go to Europe, yay! Tony Stark's dead, ooh. Jake Gyllenhaal comes and tries to manipulate Peter Parker, boo. Anywho.
Everywhere I go, I see his face.
Oh yes, what is this movie? But yeah, so in this movie, Jake Gyllenhaal pretends to be somebody from a different universe, from the multiverse. That was really great. Anywho, he's a big fat liar. He was actually just wronged by Tony Stark at one point, but not even actually. They have a whole scene where they actually brought back a couple extras from like the first Iron Man movie, and they were like, Tony Stark did this wrong to me, and it's like, he really didn't, but okay. And so they were all banding together to come to try and take down Peter Parker. Ooh.
Was he just not like how his stuff was advertised?
He just didn't like that his technology was called barf.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the other guy was like, Obadiah Stane yelled at me, so it's Tony Stark's fault. Anywho, at the end of this movie, Jake Gyllenhaal dies. Boo.
Oh no.
Not yet another bridge that he got taken down on.
God, I've never seen.
Anywho, but also in this movie, Peter Parker and MJ get together, and MJ figures out that he's Spider-Man. Because she's so perceptive and smart. And then we also see Spider-Man's identity gets revealed. Oh well, unfortunate. And then another post-credit scene, we see that the Nick Fury and Maria Hill that were in the movie weren't. They were Skrulls, aka the aliens that showed up in Captain Marvel.
Whoa.
Which raises a few more questions. And then we have the New Mutants
Who?
that came out in the midst of 2020. Didn't do so well, partially because
Well.
yeah. But hey, look, it's Charlie Heaton. Anyhow, that's crazy. I've got this.
You'll report to
I want to make sure everything's here, so don't mind me. I'm so sorry. I'm one of them. No.
Okay, so as you all can see, there's a lot of stuff going on.
How'd
So
they go down?
as we get to these, they're not all the slides are as nice and pretty as the slides you just saw. So bear with me. Yeah. Okay. So we had the lovely Infinity Saga. We adore her. She was so well thought out. And then we enter the Multiverse Saga. And this is where things get a little less thought out. So, what does this mean? Basically, Thanos snapped, and we did about everything we needed to, apparently, with the Infinity Stones. And so, once Thanos gets defeated in Endgame, we have to move on. And hey, what did we get teased in Far From Home? That there's other multiverses out there. What did they tell us? That's a lie. Hey, guess what? They lied about that being a lie. There's actually a lot of different timelines out there. Also, it gets a little wonky. Before the Multiverse Saga, we kind of had set phases in which, if you noticed, a phase would end pretty much with or around an Avengers movie. That does not occur anymore. So if you don't know what phase of the MCU we're on right now, don't worry, I don't either. So as long as you know what we're talking about,
4 and 6.
yeah. It's debatable. Technically, we're on 6. But, you know, we're going to start with phase 4, which starts with the lovely WandaVision. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide just so we can talk about it really quickly. If you haven't seen WandaVision, I highly recommend. Basically, this is superheroes meets the sitcoms of about every decade that TV has existed, and then ends with 2 witches fighting. And that's WandaVision. Something else important to know, this is where we see our lovely older Maria Rambeau. She will be important later. We also see Darcy Lewis again, who is unfortunately not featured here, even though she does play a big role in the TV show.
Sorry.
It's okay. We also have our favorite cop back. And, okay, now if you're wondering, hey, that's not the Pietro I remember from Avengers Age of Ultron, you would be right. This guy's from X-Men. Why? Because this is after Disney gets the rights from Fox to X-Men, and so this is technically our first official integration of the X-Men characters, but here it was Disney kind of being like, hey, technically we can throw him in there. And then we'll just see what people think, and at least most people that I saw like me were very mad that it wasn't the right Pietro, but also they were like, well, that just shows that he's not the real guy. Anyways, this whole thing, Wanda rightfully experiences a big bout of grief, casts a hex over a whole city, and honestly, that's all she really does to them, but then everyone acts like she did something a lot worse, but hey, it's fine, it gets fixed in the end, and she has to lose her family again. For just a little while. Now, okay, this is not the right picture, and I don't know why the right picture isn't there, but something special about WandaVision is it's actually one of the only Marvel TV shows with an
Nothing happened.
second time that's happened.
Second time.
I'm not told because I dropped my water bottle earlier.
It's still alive!
So, after WandaVision, they kind of stopped making end credit scenes in TV shows. Kind of angers some people like me, and I don't fully know why they did it. But here is where we first see the Scarlet Witch dipping into the Darkhold, which we meet in the finale of this TV show. And basically, it is a book of very dark spells that corrupts your soul the more you use it. But hey, she's the Scarlet Witch, so I'm sure she'll be fine and that'll have no consequences at all.
Yeah.
But don't worry about it right now, because right now we're talking about Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes. This is personally one of my favorite TV shows. It's iconic. If you're wondering where John Walker came from, the fake Captain America, that's him right there. This is his introduction. This man is great. Don't get attached. You can get attached to this man, though, if you need some clarity. Basically, this is just setting up the new partnership of Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes. This is also where Sam learns to take on the name Captain America that he was given. And Bucky learns, hey, I can be a hero even without my trauma. And it's great, and we love that for him. This is also really the first real world look we get at a post-blip society. We start to get introduced in Spider-Man, but this is our first look at how it's affected things politically. And specifically in America, and it's not super great. Basically, they spent 5 years making a new system for how everything worked, and then everyone came back, and they're like, oh no, now our system of only half the population no longer works because we have the full population again. And this becomes a problem that we will address later, sometimes, but sometimes it's fine. We also do have an end credit scene here. Fun fact, our lovely lady Miss Sharon Carter does come back in The Falcon Winter Soldier. Don't get too excited though, you won't see her again for a while. But here we get a reveal that she has completely dropped her hero persona and she is fully leaning into this kind of crime lord. She's now called the Power Broker, and she could be a big problem later.
Could.
Could.
Perhaps.
And then we get into the lovely Black Widow. So now, if you were to watch things in an actual timeline order, you would have watched this after Civil War. However, that's not when it came out. So, spoiler alert, this takes place after Civil War. Natasha is unfortunately still dead. I'm sorry. But basically, this is our Red Room movie. We get a big look into Natasha's background. We also meet our lovely Elena, and we meet the Red Guardian and their mom. Their mom's still cool. She's just not super important after this movie, but she's still cool, and we still love her. This is where we get the sisterly dynamic, which unfortunately for Natasha will no longer be important, but it is important to understand Elena's arc, as she will be becoming, and is becoming, a big deal in the MCU. This also just kind of gives us a look into like why the Red Room was so bad, because before this we had seen a few of Natasha's flashbacks, but we never really like, in a cinematic view, grasped how truly traumatic their upbringing was. We also get one of the most heart-wrenching end-credit scenes in which Elena is visiting Natasha's grave. She does their call signal, which is a little bird call, and it's so sad. And then she gets told by someone that will be important later, hey, you know who killed your sister? Her best friend. You should go get him next. And then that's it. If you didn't know, Natasha and Clint Barton are best friends.
I don't care if he died.
Our besties. We do care. Quick side note, Scarlett Johansson sued Disney after this movie. Mainly this had to do while Disney Plus was still working with their streaming rights and how actors would be paid with streaming. Up to this point, there hadn't been super big like original movies that were coming out first on streaming, and this is where it was like, hey, we have this really cool movie. Do we release it on our streaming platform too? Do we release it in theaters and then our streaming platform? And because they didn't have those answers, they did not pay her enough. Don't worry, our girl's been paid.
But she ain't coming back.
But she ain't coming.
Yeah.
Probably. Never say never. And then we have Loki season 1. Hey, remember when I said that there's multiple timelines? Yeah, this is when we come back to that. So in Loki season 1, the gist of this season is that we learn about a lovely group called the TVA, which has been watching over the timeline and basically making sure that it doesn't go too off script. When it goes too off script, they kill that timeline. So that's not as cool, but you know. We get Owen Wilson in the MCU. If you don't recognize my man, this is Lightning McQueen. So, there you go. These two are awesome. Also, this Loki specifically is not Loki from Endgame. Unfortunately, he did die. In Endgame, one of the times they use time travel is they try to go back to get the Tesseract, and by doing that, they go to a secret next scene that we don't see in the actual Avengers movie, in which Loki is getting arrested. Unfortunately, it goes horribly wrong. Steve and Tony accidentally lead to him being freed, and so this Loki is actually from Avengers 2012, like the end of that movie, but then later kind of gets the memories of the Loki we've seen prior to that, so just...
Oh yeah, because there's scenes where he sees like the future and stuff.
Yes, so he remembers everything that's happened, but this Loki hasn't necessarily lived everything that's happened.
It's been such a long time since I've seen this.
And we didn't get an end credit scene, but all we got was just a message that was like, Loki will return in season 2, and everyone was excited. Then we got into What If. If you do not know, and you were like me, and you were hoping that What If would be What If to the MCU, it's not. This is based off a comic run, in which is called Marvel What If Comics, and every episode matches a comic that exists. Why is this important? Eventually, this will lead to an overarching story in its later seasons. The only hint we get at that is at the finale here, in which they take all of the main cast and they go, yeah, defeat a version of Ultron. And then they do, and then they go home. But I highly recommend watching this season. This is the last Marvel project that Chadwick did. He recorded his voice lines for this before his death, so I highly recommend for that reason alone. You should watch at least season 1. Because we love Chadwick Boseman. Woo! It does have an end credit scene. It hints at Steve Rogers in Captain Carter's timeline, in which Peggy gets the serum and not Steve, that he is alive. Whoa.
Wow.
But we'll do something with that information later. Because season 2 is not next. Next is Shang-Chi! Hey, remember this really cool?
I love this movie!
Remember this really cool movie? We are getting a sequel, don't worry. It's just not, it just hasn't happened yet, because we need the next Avengers to happen first. Shang-Chi is amazing. You should watch it. I don't want to yap everything to you because you should watch it. But basically, born and raised an assassin, said, hey, I actually don't like killing people. Ran to America, got adopted, unfortunately had to go back to the assassin life, and now he's a superhero. Yay! There's also dragons in this movie, if you need another reason to watch it. And then we have the end credit scene, which is a fantastic end credit scene that has not been addressed at all since. But Wong, who after Endgame and the 5-year jump, because he was not dusted while Steven was dusted, actually has become the Sorcerer Supreme. And he's like, hey, these 7 rings you got, they're sending a weird signal. And they call Captain Marvel and be like, hey bestie, can you help? And then we haven't gotten any information since. Yay! Woo! Okay, and now we're going back outside the MCU. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Venom series is great. Carnage is a variant of Venom. There you go. Woo! Great representation of Carnage and Venom. And then we get Eternals. What do you need to know from Eternals? I'll tell you. One, this movie has Harry Styles in the end, but I don't recommend watching it. Just look up the post-credit scene. All you need to know is that we get backstories. We get backstories to the cosmos before everything occurs, and eventually that leads to a metal that's stronger than vibranium that will become important later in another Captain America movie. That's all you need to know. Don't pay attention to the rest of it. A bunch of people die. It's weird. But hey, there's Harry Styles. Guess what? This is Thanos' brother.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, in case you forgot that plot line, he plays Thanos' brother.
So,
Yeah.
you know the backstory of this guy, like arrows in the comics.
Yeah, but we're not talking about it right now. I'm giving you the information the MCU gives you. This is Thanos' brother.
I meant
That's all
to
you
put
know.
a disclaimer that while the comics is a source material, the movies really don't stick to them very well at
No.
all. So please don't refer to them. You
There's
will be
also,
wrong.
yeah. There's also another end credit scene. Look, this guy, he gets a really cool sword. Don't ask us about it. We're not going to address it again. He gets a really cool sword. Okay. And then we move on to Hawkeye! For all my friends in the room, this is the Haley Steinfeld project. This is her introduction to the MCU. Don't worry, she is coming back.
Well, yes. Why do you think I watched this show?
Again, I highly recommend Hawkeye. This is where we for anyone that needs MCU, this is where we get introduced to Kingpin. Why in a Hawkeye thing and not a Spider-Man thing? Don't ask me, but there's Kingpin.
Oh.
She's in all.
Also, Yelena shows up towards the end. They become besties. We will see more of this later. And also, we finally get accurate Clint and him being deaf. Yay! Representation in MCU.
Yay.
Also, you get to meet Lucky, the golden retriever.
Yay! You also get Rogers the musical.
You also get Rogers the musical.
What?
And then that causing Clint to have a PTSD flashback while in the audience. It's great. Okay, and then we have Spider-Man No Way Home. Please watch Spider-Man No Way Home.
It's so good.
If you need a selling point, Andrew Garfield's in this movie.
Yeah.
Basically, this is if you took all 3 Spider-Man trilogies and you made one singular film, you get Spider-Man No Way Home. Peter's like, hey, this movie shows you why Spider-Man's identity should never be revealed to the public. It is specifically to keep his family safe. When it's revealed, he can't go to college, his friends can't go to college because they're related to him, in a form or fashion. And so basically Peter goes, hey, Dr. Strange, can you make everyone forget my identity? And Strange goes, sure. And Peter goes, except for a few people. And then the spell backfires, opens a bunch of portals into the multiverse that we've kind of been talking about. Why does the... Anyways, I won't get on the tangent. But this is that scene happening. And then after this, it is Peter realizing that all of the villains that get pulled in right before they die in their original movies. And he's like, well, I don't like that. So we're going to fix that. And he attempts to fix it. He gets really close. It goes horribly wrong. And Aunt May unfortunately dies. Spoiler alert.
Rip.
After she dies, he kind of loses it. Almost goes to killing. But the other Spider-Man stop him because Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man are awesome. Yay! Andrew Garfield also gets his second chance at saving someone from dying from falling, and he does! Yay!
Dude.
This does have 2 end credit scenes. One of them is just a trailer for Multiverse of Madness, so we did not include it. It also talks about Venom, making Venom an MCU character, which we will probably mention later, but he also gets pulled into Spider-Man No Way Home, but for some reason is not in the movie and is only at this bar for the entire time and leaves behind a tiny trace of Venom, which we also see again in the next Venom movie, even though it's not next. We do. They mention it. Moon Knight. Hey guys, this is Oscar Isaac's kind of official
Never-
introduction to the MCU because also he's in Spider-Verse. Here's our lovely Oscar Isaac. This show is great. Please go watch it. They didn't make a season 2. They should have made a season 2, so you should go watch season 1. Basically, it got canceled, but then they talk about how they don't want it. It's a thing. He will be coming back though. He's still in the MCU. It's just the TV show. Also, the gist of this is that it's based off Egyptian mythology, and so all of the powers are based off Egyptian mythology.
Oh.
Think of it as, for my friends who know Percy Jackson, think of it as kind of like each superhero in here is a demigod and has powers related to their godly parent. That's the easiest way for me to explain it if you've not seen the TV show. You should watch it. And there is an end credit scene here. So the entire show, our lovely main character does have DID. If you don't know what that is, it basically means you have multiple personalities in one body. The whole show, we believe that there's only 2. Guess what? There's actually a third, and the third guy is very violent and likes killing people, which he proves as he kills someone, and that's like the whole point of this scene. Yeah!
At least he kills the bad guy.
At least he does kill the bad guy. Hey, he has morals when he kills. He just likes killing. And then we get to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Oh god.
This movie's really good.
So this is a movie that happens, and Wanda dies, and we meet America Chavez.
America's my favorite.
And that's what you need to know. I'm not going to talk about this movie for too long because I'm trying to remain unbiased.
Oh my gosh, I forgot
Okay,
about the eye.
here's the end credit scene. We learned that our lovely Strange now has a third eye, and here's his new love interest. And that's what you need to know. Cool, we're moving on.
Getting weird about the thing.
And then we meet Miss Marvel! Yay! If you haven't watched the show, shame on you, you should go watch it. It's amazing. Here's Miss Marvel. If you like the comics, she does not have her stretchy abilities that she does in the comics. This is an entirely new power set that is based off her ancestry. And you should watch it. It's really cool. It has to do with energy and crystals. We love it.
She's a Captain
It'll
Marvel
eventually
fangirl.
be connected to the Inhumans, I think. And she's a Captain Marvel fangirl, which becomes important at the very end of the show, in which she somehow switches places with Captain Marvel.
What?
So now Captain Marvel's in her bedroom. Where did Miss Marvel go? I'll tell you later. Because we have to take a pause for this. Hey, this is a film that happened. Okay, next up, we've got Thor Love and Thunder. Okay, so fun fact, if you watch Thor Ragnarok and you were like, oh my gosh, where's Natalie Portman? So she had creative differences with the directors. Her director got fired, and so as standing up for her bestie, she also left the film, which is why she's not in it. But she's back here because she has nothing against our main man, which the Marvel heads that she didn't like. But she's back as Jane Foster, now is Lady Thor. She too can wield that hammer. Basically, what we learn here is that the Greek gods are actual people on another planet. That's important later. Thor likes Stormbreaker, his big axe, but he wants his hammer back. He can't get his hammer back because Jane's using it as Lady Thor. And then they try to save a child from the representation of death. It ends up with her dying, the child living even though the child was dead. This man also dies, but it's okay because Thor now has a daughter that he adopted. Yay!
Chris Hemsworth's actual child.
It is Chris Hemsworth's actual child, and her name is Love.
Wow.
Thor Love and Thunder. My yes. And then we meet Hercules, which is, you're a big comics fan. This was really exciting. If you're not a big comics fan, there's Hercules.
Whoa.
And if you're a Ted Lasso fan, it's right there.
It's still Hercules. Here's She-Hulk. I know everyone has their thoughts and opinions. Here's just what you need to know. Here's Jennifer. She's a lawyer. Go Queen. My favorite thing about her is she's dating Daredevil, and we love the gold suit. Yeah, it's kind of what you need to know. Wong's in this TV show too, just kind of doing what he does. He appears, disappears, and then reappears again. He also lets out Abomination, who's an important Hulk person later. She also breaks the fourth wall. The finale is weird because of that. And then at the very end, we find out that Bruce somehow has a son. We don't know. He literally shows up to the family picnic and goes, "This is my child." And that's the end. So, there you go.
I think I remember you ranting to me about this after you watched it.
Why yes, why yes. Then we have Iron Groot. This was a huge short series.
He has a show?
It's a adorable. It's like, it's little shorts. It's so cute.
Oh
Watch it.
my gosh!
And Vin Diesel's back, baby!
Yeah!
We also have Werewolf by Night,
Who?
another short. She was beautiful.
What?
It's just
It's just like a fun one-off to do horror and werewolves, and we love it. And that's that.
It's black and white.
Okay.
It's very good. And we have Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Because remember, unfortunately, real life Black Panther did pass away, and so we had to address that. And Marvel's great because they didn't want to recast him. And so instead we have this very long movie about grief, in which more grief occurs.
Yeah.
And we meet Namor. Remember that guy I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation? Yeah, he is here. That's him. Fun fact, everyone in Doomsday is worried about him and Sue Storm meeting because they do cheat.
Oh.
That could be concerning.
Uh-oh.
Thing, like, she didn't want to.
No.
You're just being creepy, but I think that's just like,
Yeah. But here it is. It's a great show. A great movie. We get to like dive fully into our characters. We also meet Riri Williams.
I knew it.
Woo!
Angela Bassett also gets like the first acting nomination, Oscar acting nomination.
Yes, I was
in
told
the
that.
MCU.
Woo! As she deserves.
She didn't win because they're losers.
And then the end credit scene, we meet T'Challa's son, baby T'Challa, and then we get the lovely thing at the very end that says Black Panther will return. And there you go. And then we get the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
What?
If you haven't watched this, it's so
I have
good.
watched
It's
this.
so good.
It is basically, the gist of this is just Mantis and Peter learning how to be siblings. That is the gist of the special. It's great.
Kevin Bacon.
It also makes their relationship, when you reach volume 3, make a lot of sense because they have realized that they're siblings and they love each other dearly, and it's a great film. It also shows you a great parallel to what Nebula and Gamora could have had, which then makes you really sad a little bit. And then we get our lovely end credit scene of Rocket and Cosmo decorating the tree. However, Groot gets tired, and they need something more special. And it's just really cute. You should just watch the special.
So cute.
It's better than the Star Wars holiday special. And then we enter phase 5. Why after the holiday special? That I can't tell you.
No one knows.
And we start with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now, a lot of people don't like this film. I'm not in that category, but a lot of people don't like this film.
It was alright.
I think if you've read the comics or if you've watched the animated TV shows, this movie is a better movie to you. Here's Cassie Lang. Remember her? Yeah, she's grown up now, and she's going to be her own superhero in Young Avengers. Come back later.
She's been recast.
Shh, we're not mentioning that right now. Okay, we also get to see the Wasp in action again, along with our lovely Ant-Man. They go to the quantum realm.
You're telling me this is not the same man?
That's my favorite comparison.
This is a pretty accurate description of how he should look. He is just a floating head a lot of times. This is that scientist guy from the Captain America
Yellow
movie.
check blacked it out of my
No, that's
after
Yellow.
the Einstein book came out.
The villain from Ant-Man.
You're right. I'm used to him
This is the one
being.
where I was
He's
a
someone
baby.
else. He should be
It's
someone
okay.
else. It's fine.
No.
Yeah.
He's the guy who's trying.
I want to talk about this more, but unfortunately, because our main villain has changed now in the saga, where this movie falls is still kind of up for grabs, so I'm not going to talk about it much because anything I might tell you might not be accurate when we get more information on Doomsday, unfortunately. But right now, these two lovely people are stuck in Quantumania, so that could be a problem later. But we've seen Ant-Man get out before, so we'll see. We also got a mid-credit scene of all of the Kongs. Kangs, again, not super relevant. Unfortunately, the actor that plays him did get fired from the MCU for being arrested for partner-related crimes. Bad.
Not good.
We also got a post-credit scene of Loki and Mobius visiting another Earth, leading into Loki Season 2, which is not the next slide, because we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 first, which is a great film that some people watch and some people don't watch.
Oh, this made me cry.
This film is just Rocket Raccoon's backstory.
I hate
That's
that.
basically this film. It is a beautiful film. We also get to explore more of the human side of Peter. And unfortunately, this film ends with the Guardians of the Galaxy breaking up, like they're a boy band.
They all live, but
They all live,
that's good.
but they're no longer the OG Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay. Nowhere where the collector was, they found another floating head, and they turned it into this sanctuary for all the people that they need to help as the Guardians of the Galaxy, which we learned in the holiday special. Some of the Guardians of the Galaxy stay on the planet to help all of the new people that they've rescued. Some of the other Guardians still wander the galaxy as Guardians. Let me show you them. Here's our new Guardians of the Galaxy. Some of the other Guardians, like Gamora, went with the Ravengers, even though we've kind of set up that they're not the best people, but that's okay. And then Peter goes home to meet his grandpa again, who is still alive, and they have a lovely chat. And then this movie ends with just the title that Star-Lord will return in Avengers Doomsday. So, but we do have a new Guardians of the Galaxy that we may or may not see again. We don't know. And then we have Secret Invasion. Who watched Secret Invasion? If you try to look up Secret Invasion, it's very different than what it originally was supposed to be.
Wait, was that the show with the website? And people were like trying to figure out. I remember
Oh
that.
my gosh, I forgot about that.
That's the only way I know about it. I haven't
It's a
watched
really
it.
fun video
If you watch Game of Thrones, then this is a cool cameo for you. She will probably come back in the MCU. Nick Fury's alive. We find out he had a secret wife that was a Kree.
Oh.
We also find out, okay, so for my friends that have watched Civil War, we remember War Machine falling out of the sky, right? Really sad, Bestie gets paralyzed. We find out in the show that at some point during that, he actually gets replaced by a Kree.
Oh.
Meaning that we're not entirely sure if he even knows that Tony's dead or not. Skrull, not a Kree. A Skrull. We got you. But yeah, this show, honestly, just watch a recap. I don't even know if I would suggest it. It's
my girl Maria.
Yeah, they kill a lot of random people in the show, but then they end it and they're like, but hey, Nick Fury. And you're like, oh, cool. So there you go. We also find out you can like make hybrid aliens by mixing blood. And then we have Loki season 2. Yay! This is the best season, in my very unhumble opinion. It's iconic. It would have made such a good follow-up to what the OG Avengers movie was supposed to be that followed this, but it's fine. Everyone slays. You should just watch it. It's so good. It starts with Loki time slipping. We come back, we catch up with our girl again. Mobius plays a much bigger role in this. And it ends with Loki becoming the god of stories. Basically, he is tied to the tree of not worlds like we learn in Thor. This is the tree holding every single timeline in the MCU that has ever existed together, and he is sitting at the center of it. Now, if you've seen the Doomsday cast, you know that Tom Hiddleston is coming back in Doomsday. How when he's connected to a tree? We'll see. But he is currently out of commission connected to a tree, so that's cool. And Mobius is maybe with his family. That's where he ends up. And everyone else is just kind of with the TVA. We get like a hint that they're trying to make the TVA better, but then if you've watched another movie, you might be confused by that like I am. Which doesn't follow it. There's also no end credit scene, unfortunately. It's just Loki will return, and that's it. And then we lead into the Marvels, which is a great film. We have our lovely Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Maria's back. Basically, it's our lovely trio of ladies. They randomly start switching places every time they try to use their powers, so then they have to travel the cosmos to figure out why that's happening. We also meet her husband, kind of fake husband, but it's a real marriage. It leads to a wonderful musical scene that I adore greatly. This movie's just great. I love it. Also, Goose the cat has kittens. Yay. It's very cute.
Goosey.
Okay. And then it ends with basically their mentor and mentee like relationship being fully set up. But what about Maria? I'm so glad you asked. She gets thrown into space, into what is basically a wormhole. And we're like, oh no, Maria, is she okay? She is. Because they use this as the end credit scene to officially introduce the X-Men into the MCU.
Yay!
It's okay. We love this man, also named Hank, but not Hank Pym, different Hank. This is Beast. We love him, and this is them going, hey, the X-Men, they're coming back. That's the importance of this scene. And she's alive and will return, don't worry. We also have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, another great film, and another film featuring Oscar Isaac as an entirely different person. Yay! We also have What If Season 2. Low-key, I'm skipping past What If, guys. You watch it if you want to. It's fine. It is what it is. We also have Echo.
Huh?
The main character here only speaks in sign language. It's another great representation of representation in the MCU. There we go. We also have our return of Kingpin, who still does not die at the end of this series. And yeah, you should watch it. Well, this also leads into Franklin wanting to run for mayor, which then leads into the new Daredevil show. And then we get to Deadpool movie! Guys, Hugh Jackman's back because Ryan Reynolds said, I want my best Hugh Jackman back. He was like, yeah, I'm bored. And so they made this film. This is also our introduction of both Deadpool and Wolverine into the MCU. Yes, Deadpool is now part of the MCU, technically. Will that matter? We don't know. But it's a great film. Also, this also has to do with the TVA. The TVA that was supposed to be like kind of disbanded. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on, but they're back. Also, Chris Evans appears in this film at some point.
Oh, it's great.
For not a great, you know, I have opinions on it. He does appear.
I think it's funny.
We also have our lovely Gambit for my lovely Gambit fans like me who care. It was amazing. And
look, Wesley Snipes is Blade.
We also have
He's
Blade,
back.
which if you don't know who Blade is, it's connected to Daredevil. That's why it's him. We also get Elektra, who is also connected to Daredevil. And that's the gist that you need to know if you don't know those characters.
Such a great joke.
And then we get Venom: The Last Dance, which is the last Venom movie. The trilogy's great. It's, you know, it's a Sony film, but this is the best characterization of Venom that you'll see in something that's not animated, so I highly recommend watching these 3 movies. Okay, great. Also, we get another version of the bar scene in that one, and yeah. Here, guys, Madam Web occurred. The only cool thing is that we get our first look at a somewhat kind of connected to the MCU Ben Parker, and that's all you need to know. Cool. Okay, I'm so sorry. This is where my time to put in pictures unfortunately ran out.
Oh, sorry guys.
I'm so sorry. Please watch Agatha All Along. It's perfect.
So good.
The cast is amazing. Also, Joe Locke's introduction to the MCU as Billy Maximoff. Guess what? Billy's not dead. He reincarnated himself in someone else that had died and then came back. Boom! Surprise! Also, Agatha's alive. Momentarily. And we also meet Rio, dead. Now, do you remember that one clip from, you know, all the way back in the end credit scene, in which the other is talking to his boss Thanos and is like, hey, only people would go after the Avengers that court death. Not only is that an Easter egg to the comics because Thanos and Death do have a romantic relationship, it is an Easter egg to our lovely girl, Rio, who is Death, Lady Death, the Green Witch. Death is a character in Marvel Comics. Not Rio, not this version of Death. In the comics, there's like another storyline. A lot of people court Death, including Deadpool. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. And we have What If Season 3.
Yeah, the 3rd
In
season?
which Howard the Duck has a child with Darcy.
We don't need to any longer.
And that's all I'm going to tell you. If you want to watch it, go watch it. Then we have Captain America: Brave New World! Yeah! Hey, remember that Incredible Hulk movie we were talking about? It's important here.
Yeah.
Again, I'm sorry. There's
no
some.
pictures. Oh, wow.
I know, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I ran out of time. Okay. Guys, don't listen to the hate on this film. This film is great. Also, we have Harrison Ford in the MCU now. Yeah. Also, this is our first introduction to Bucky wanting to be a senator. Go Bucky, he said I got bored, let's try politics. This is Sam's like full Goaz as Captain America. We also have our lovely Torres officially as the Falcon. And we recheck on what happened after Incredible Hulk after all this time. So, we get a follow-up. If you're wondering why Harrison Ford's here, he's playing Ross, because unfortunately Ross's OG actor has died at this
R.I.P.
point
William.
and had to be recast.
Yeah.
But they picked Harrison Ford, so yay!
Yay!
This film's great. Also, this is the only time the Eternals so far has been necessary in the MCU. And all you need to know is that a really cool medal came from it.
Oh
You
yeah.
don't have to actually watch the film. And then there is an credit scene. Sam visits Samuel, who is now in the raft, did not die. Yay! And Stern warns him that the others are coming, which is a hint at other multiverses crossing over into our main Earth of the MCU. And this is our first official end credit scene once we have the knowledge that our villain is now Doctor Doom. So this is not hinting at our lovely Conqueror that we've been setting up in Loki. We're now at Doctor Doom. Woo! Then we have Daredevil born again! Thank you. I'm so glad that there are some Daredevil fans in this room.
There was
A lot
a
of
surprising
them.
lack of Daredevil.
Hey guys, this show's incredible. Please go watch it. We love Charlie Cox. We want him to be in more things. Also, remember Frank Castle, that guy we've been mentioning? He's in this TV show. He's brought back into the MCU. Presentation about the MCU was important. And then we have Thunderbolts, which is called nothing else but Thunderbolts.
Yes.
Thing is called?
No, it's called Thunderbolts.
As much as I love the other.
It's called Thunderbolts. 'cause
First
it's bad
name Thunder,
marketing.
last name Bolt. Middle name
Basically,
S.
Bucky Barnes is trying to catch a bad guy. That bad guy's been recruiting the people in the MCU that are like, oh, I have nothing left. So this is Yelena, John Walker, Ghost, who we met in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Taskmaster. Unfortunately, Taskmaster does not make it that far, but the others do, so go them. We also meet our lovely Bob. We also meet the Sentry, and we also meet the Void. Wow. Which I'm really glad that he turned off because that could have been a big problem. Also, other than our lovely Taskmaster, everyone else lives. Yay! That rarely ever happens. And then we get revealed at the very end of this that they're not actually the Thunderbolts, they're the New Avengers.
Wow.
Now wait, that's a problem because Sam's already started his own team called the New Avengers, and suddenly we may have Civil War on our hands again, except this time it wasn't even anyone's fault. Yeah! And then we get a lovely end credit scene with the best hair Sebastian Stan has had to date yet. It's amazing. Also, Yelena's eating. That's why this picture was important. Basically, they're now in the old Stark Tower, which became the Avengers Tower, which Tony tried to sell, did not sell, got bought by the government, and is now home for the New Avengers again. While they're here, they're talking about how Sam is suing them for the name The New Avengers, which I think is hilarious, but also we hate the divorce arc. And they get a little beacon that there's a ship incoming. What ship is this? The Fantastic Four ship! Why is that important? Because we're about to enter a new phase after this. Hey, there was an Ironheart show that happened. It happened.
Ironheart.
Hey, remember Riri Williams?
Hard of iron.
She got her own show. I'm not going to talk about it.
What?
Okay, phase 6.
Yay!
Remember when I mentioned the Fantastic Four? Hey, the Fantastic Four!
I have stared at that poster all throughout my summer
In
shifts
my
at Regal.
opinion, the best Fantastic Four film that we've gotten to date yet. I don't care if it's controversial. I love this film.
Part of it was controversial.
I think that's just.
I don't know, I've said that and then sometimes people get mad and I'm like, well, I'm sorry, did you not read the comics? Anyways,
It was fun.
we meet Galactus. Galactus gets shut down real fast. We also have female Silver Surfer, which if you didn't know is the original appearance from the comics. Silver Surfer only later got turned into a man and is now back to a woman. Yeah! Also, we meet Franklin Richards, who will be important later. He's the son of Sue Storm. Sue Storm and Reed Richards. And this also becomes important because this is our first, even though it's not fully his face, our first appearance of Dr. Doom in the MCU. If you see any video in which he takes his mask off, it is AI. He does not take his mask off in this end credit scene, but there was a scene going around for a while that showed it. No. But, spoiler alert, if you're not crazy like me and don't watch Comic-Con panels all the time, this is Robert Downey Jr. What? Is it Tony Stark? I don't know. I just know it's Robert Downey Jr. Also, there's a lovely non-CGI Franklin Richards. Only problem with this film. And then, okay, now I'm just going to kind of go through some things that just came out. I'm not going to explain them because they came out more recently. And so I kind of just, you know, I'm putting it out there for you to go watch. One of these specifically because Wonder Man just came out, and I don't want to spoil it for everyone in this room because some of us in this room have not finished it yet.
Including the presenters.
Including the presenters haven't finished it yet. Okay. So, we do have Eyes of Wakanda. This basically gives like a backstory in the history to Black Panther. It's really good. If you want a better history, highly recommend watching the animated Black Panther TV show. It goes into more depth, and you can see Howard Stark working with T'Challa's dad.
Oh, cool.
Nice. We also had Marvel Zombies.
What?
Yeah, it existed. Okay. And then we have Wonder Man, which is a new thing that just came out.
I'll finish it eventually.
So this is an MCU project that is associated with the MCU. However, as to our knowledge and as to the statements as of now, isn't like directly connected to the MCU. It is like a, hey, we're in the world of the MCU. Here's something else that happened. It's happening while the other things are happening.
Is that why they like font of Marvel?
Yes. Yeah, that's why it's now Marvel Television, because this is like, hey, here's a thing that's occurring alongside the movies, but not in the movies.
Oh.
We also have Trevor Slattery back. The main
Yeah, the Mandarin's back.
Right.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3. The Mandarin.
He tried his best.
Now, unreleased. Coming up, we do have the season 2 of Deadpool Born Again. Obviously, I have no stats because it's not out yet.
You said that whole word.
It was Deadpool Born Again, not Deadpool Born Again. We also have Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out this summer.
Yay!
It's coming out around Supergirl, so this summer is going to be iconic for superheroes and
Heck yeah.
maybe not iconic in other realms of film.
It's okay.
We also have Avengers Doomsday coming out. Fun fact, this was not supposed to be the next Avengers movie. It was actually later in the timeline, but now that our main villain has changed, it got moved up, and we've got Avengers Doomsday, which will feature Doctor Doom. There's also a countdown timer on Marvel Studios YouTube that is going to the release of Doomsday. If you want to check that out, nothing cool has happened yet, but it is a timer that's existing. We also have Vision Quest that will be coming out at some point that will answer the questions about White Vision from WandaVision. And then we have Avengers Secret Wars, which was supposed to be coming out a lot sooner, but it is okay. This is where we will see young Avengers, so if you wonder why people like Kate Bishop are not coming in Doomsday, don't worry, they're coming back later. This will also have Spider-Man, but he won't be in Doomsday, we've been told. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, forgot to mention, we just got word with Spider-Man Brand New Day 2 that it takes place 4 years after No Way Home, so he's like getting out of college if he went to college, but we'll see. We also have Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, which has been
Spider-Verse.
No! It's okay.
As you can tell, I did not write this slide, and I'm sorry, guys.
Hey!
I'm just
That's
kidding.
so mean.
Guys, Jenna created this whole presentation, and she did an excellent job.
Yes, Jenna.
How many times do you make fun of my spelling in T? Okay? I'm allowed at least one, okay? And then we also have unconfirmed projects that, really this just means they don't have an official release date. Marvel's been like, we're making that, so eventually, one of those
Bringing it
being
back?
made,
Yeah.
which has since been canceled.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, unfortunately. We have Armor Wars, which has not been canceled. It's not been canceled. I've waited longer for Avatar. So, hey guys, remember War Machine?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is supposed to be his TV show. Yeah, remember Pepper Potts and Morgan Stark? Yeah, we're supposed to get answers.
What?
So,
We'll see. We'll see.
Dude.
If you were curious, here is
Oh.
the timeline order of everything. I'm just gonna like glance at it real quick.
Those weren't in order we were seeing them?
no,
They
that
were in
was
release
release
order.
order.
This is the like
Timeline.
chronological order to watch it.
Yes.
Of the movie, okay, yeah.
So if you want pictures,
So if I want
take a
to watch
picture.
it,
Split up too, that's amazing.
Yes.
Watch it.
If you are curious, this includes all Marvel projects and Marvel associated projects. So, like, we didn't explain this at the beginning, but there's the MCU, and then the other projects outside of the MCU are Marvel associated. So this has everything. We also made a part 2.
Woo, because
Wow.
there's so many things.
Yes. And there's even more things than this, because this ends with Fantastic Four. Okay. Slay.
Slay.
Alright. Hey guys, welcome.
Welcome.
Transition is.
We love
Yes,
our
one more point.
Thank you so much for sitting here. If you want to yap, we can now yap.
We have the room until 6:30, so.
So this is the time to share the Marvel thoughts. If you need to go, thank you so much for joining us.
Don't
And for
forget.
anyone that said that we couldn't fit this in a meeting, ha.
You were
You're
4
5
minutes
minutes
over. Thank you very much.
Actually, no, we started with 10 minutes for you to arrive. So technically, we're still on time.
Actually, you always wait 10 minutes to start, thank you.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
It wouldn't affect
That's why we
everyone
have the
here.
room until